Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. In the last part, we wrapped up Castrum Lacus Litor, and it's now time. Patch 5.4. Elise's Quest. Oh, greetings Arya, come to look in on their friends. Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health. So in fact, they're just about to convene in downstairs bar to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we?
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies, it is time we resumed our duties in earnest. Let us speak of our plans.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I have a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Welcome back, everyone!
Lise!
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
The famous Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
I don't believe we've met.
Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Grahatir at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the first. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Oh, right. I did glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it. Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition. And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
A difficult truth to bear, yes.
But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared. Though his is a power born of the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak. And it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? Alright, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire. So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne. The trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble. The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald, and we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Oh, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the Tempered.
Of course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you used to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alizé, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting.
What meeting? Lead on. I'm not a fan of stuffy meetings, thank you.
I knew you'd say yes.
I'll come too. If you don't mind, that is.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
No. That's not... I mean, I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
We shall be on our way then. Godspeed.
When I set out to save Halric, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind, and having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I'm convinced the same must be true of the Tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the ether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant. And though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same? It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Alizé, and it warrants full investigation. There's even the chance we can save Gabu, we have to try. But however much I'd like to race over the limbs and set to work, there's no room for recklessness. Not when a child's life is at stake. I'm sure Beklug would remind us we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. And so before attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about tempering. And just one problem. Research into the condition has long since ground to a halt, and the combined work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. None of the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of their ancient counterparts? I know the Allicans took a more than passing interest in the subject. And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the ARF. I mean, a Therochemical Research Facility. Where they experimented on primals and their worshippers, yes. Good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read reports on Law, which means we'll be needing an airship. An airship, you say? Meet me at the northern bank of Silvertear Lake. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. Should I be worried? I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. I built her as a company project with the help from our friends at the Rising Stones and named her for luck and prosperity. This is amazing. We'll be able to fly just about everywhere, anywhere we want. Our garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire airship? I see the annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the Scion's fabled coinkeeper. I'd also introduce myself as your pilot, except the training didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. That's alright, because we've hired this capable fellow here instead. The Bonanza is equipped with a full complement of mana cutters, by the way. Feel free to use them to get around Law. Enough time. It's time to fly. All aboard! Honestly, Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Totaro has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Law, and Alphina's report did not to the scale of this place justice. The wisdom of Alec. This appears to be a helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and yes, I believe I have my bearings. This is my first time on Law. I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Unless I'm mistaken, this path leads to an aetherite, beyond which there will be an informational terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. And here's the terminal, the moment when I search the archives for references to tempering. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption and overview. That sounds promising. Indeed. Let's see what this report has to say. Confounded. The contents appear to have been deleted. What? No! Isn't there something you can do? Not from here, I'm afraid. It may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. The question is, where to look? says here the report was written by someone named Owen. Is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say that has a distinct possibility. And assuming he was a researcher here, he would have had quarters on the Hemisphere. We can ascertain the details of the Hemisphere control. Let's return to Bonanza and avail ourselves of the mana cutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot, you already have a civil means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship then. We'll see you at the Hemisphere. But, free warp! Oh. Oh, hey, look, there's a few other people here. If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this note will be able to tell us his number. There, from what I recall, the layout should be somewhere in the vicinity of. Warning, evacuation permit is presently in effect. Entry the Hemisphere is not permitted at this time. Filed again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the 4th Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Energy level critical. Returning to base for recharging. Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access to Force, for example? Ere we resort to that, I have an idea. When we send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system restart, releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that they are known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the continent. You seem to recall? Are you honestly telling me that was in the records too? I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning aspected ether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with the equipment. Minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much elegant knowledge. Besides, my studies helped me to feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you is more exhilarating than I can well express. Now then, the lightning shard. If I may, I suggest we split up and search the Beta Quadrant. Oh, but be aware of sprites, and they are wont to manifest where the ether is stagnant. Now you're just showing off, which makes me think we should make a conscious of this. The first to return here with the shard wins. What do you say? I say I'm cold. Very well. It would be my honor to come third. It's not something someone usually says. Where are you? There you are. Oh, hello. Wow, suddenly level 80 enemies in a level 50 area. Makes sense. Say, wait, what was the battle music there? What? Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations! The lightning shard is yours. What? No dramatic entrance? You've changed. You remember that? In my defense, I was caught up in a moment. It isn't every day you meet an honest-to-God's hero, after all. Well, the contest continues, so I'd better hurry back. Oh, but one last thing. Thank you, Arya, for bringing me here. can I find my way back? Easy, just go back the way I came in. Right? Hopefully. Except I have to go past where I came in. I believe. No, is it the same spot? I guess it is the same spot, isn't it? It appears Alize had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations! Now then, may I have the shard? What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? It's a question I too have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we both could learn a great deal from Arya, not only about the secrets of adventuring. But come, we should attend to our mission. Excellent. The system responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Hemisphere. Only one obstacle remains, the security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. In light of which, pray leave the rest of me. If I'm right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes. But if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sign of danger. I promise. Wish me luck. Well, nothing for it but to sit tight. I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption in overview sounds like a studium thesis. We all had to write one. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of ether. I'm nothing if not practical. Alphinaud's was more philosophical, of course. Political, dare I say it. He chose to write a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world. Controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted that Charlene's knowledge should rightly be used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the Forum, our father was not happy. At the time, of course, Alphinaud was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently. By which I mean the rows were long. To be fair to him, though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded. But deep down, he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. I should have liked to meet this young Alphinaud. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the elegant civilization as depicted in folklore. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. I didn't. Thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the Students of Aldesian convinced me to write one with a promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. I shudder to imagine the work involved. Enough about that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes. Owen's archive known. It was waiting for me in his chamber. If a copy of his report still survives, it will be stored in this device. Shall we find out? Initializing. Scanning for registered user. User not found. To proceed as a guest, please complete biometric authentication. Verifying. Authentication complete. Guess I identified as member of the royal family. I am your most humble servant. I am at your most humble service, your highness. Never ceases to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. Doga and Une said as much when they granted me this gift. Until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Searching. One item found. Iconic corruption. An overview. Report is locked by the author. Please stay password. Well, go on then, your highness. Tell the nice know the password. Right. Let's see. Glory be to Alec. Long live Emperor Zonde. Password incorrect. Please try again. Confound it. Come now, passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance... Password. Nothing to the password could be something so inane would be laughable if it were not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handmaiden. What? Did that thing just call me? Wild Rose. Password incorrect. Again, be warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. And now let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we lose risking the report altogether. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Machina into cooperating, it is them. Come, let's spread the node back to the Rising Stones. Reviving the legacy. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambros did send word to Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext, however much I might look forward to seeing him again. Him and everyone. But come, let's be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? Wonderful news, Arya. Tatara contacted Sid on our behalf, and he is on his way here even as we speak. Oh, wait. I should like very much to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Corral? As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to intelligence from our dominant allies, the War of Succession rages on and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the Third, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. Brutus, aren't they the ones who took in Yatsuyu and Sahi? This bodes well. The Yules' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders would feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict. And so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Gimlet, they have decided to turn their attention to the Primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the Beast Tribe, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Wilminsons, in particular, struggle in their efforts, and Alpha Noah and Ishtola have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the Tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable and Dawn's respite? I shall sit in as soon as he arrives. Alright. And you could have just moved me over there, but make me do it myself. Wow, really making me work for it this time. Sid, you aren't voiced. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we've had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been, had you not fulfilled your promise. I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you want my help with something. What is it? Well, a treatment for tempering. And for the next step, you need to find the password to this elegant report. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly, and thus we turn to you. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that it might be of use, I took literally borrowing a tombstone from Rambros. It contains an elegant dictionary. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. Ah, looks like it's finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Ah, short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, my lady. Node, open the report entitled Iconic Corruption and Overview. Password, freedom. Password accepted. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanisms by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the ether of the soul. Said ether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when the subject is exposed to the ether of an icon, this changes, their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. By way of an example, exposure to the ether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause the subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with Earth's aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. The stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. In this manner, do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. Having discerned the mechanism for iconic corruption, my colleagues and I have set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects, an endeavor in which we were successful, albeit at a great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption. In accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. It's not even the Elegants were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given a chance to do so. One can't help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms the stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True. Yet, were we simply to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatic faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. If we could only make them remember who they were... Of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation. That is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. See, the theory seems sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in a literal bloodletting. They did. You are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism. And I concede that the rather clumsy compromise arranged would not provide the basis for a cure. Perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics. Which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we will be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. It'll take more calculating power. A lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind the password? Keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait. A password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure in a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology or some such. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief. Things are about to get very busy. Luckily we have you to help, eh? Are you looking at me? You better not be looking at me. Right, well, Grahatia and I configured the terminals. I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Arya and Alizé with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Skyseal manufactory in Ishgard and the cerulean processing plant in Thanalan. The people there will give you what you need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalan. Of course, I get to do with Ishgard. If I can find the right tab, that would help. You send this guy to the manufacturing. I have this note for you. So you are after ceruleum. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the Ashes Landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Of course. Way over there. Ceruleum, you've come to the right man. Fair warning, though. The price is shot up on account of the uncertainty with the Empire. I hope you've got the coin. Well now, a promissory note from the Hour Marks. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem, it's as good as gold to me.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places. As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the Primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course. Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day? A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed. Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it. In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more, now that I look at it. Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance? Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
It's been a while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering. But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
For all the effort it took to track you down after your latest disappearing act, you could find the cure for death, and it wouldn't be worth the trouble.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel, not only across dimensions, but through time. Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
By the way, the healing applications of crystal foci proved very useful in getting us to where we are now. I must remember to thank Mikoto. Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin. All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while. It's overloading.
She won't last much longer!
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close! So very close!
Oh!
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There! I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Forget us not. At last, we have our cure. In theory, at any rate. We cannot be certain until such time as we put it to the proof, but I am quietly confident. Well, if we're to test it on someone, then I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. As long as you exercise due caution. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine. Without further ado, then let's make for Limsa. We've kept Gabu waiting long enough. Well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our host bring Gabu to us at once.
Apologies for the wait.
Gabu, have you been good?
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
Fancy meeting you here.
Alphino Yushtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment? Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Well, I, for one, would be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Excellent. With your permission, then, let us begin. Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn. It is done.
No small amount indeed. Oh.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allagans did not. It was never like to be easy. The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one. I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
Oh, hello. Well, this seems as good a spot as any to have a rest.
For years, Eorzea has labored to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light-corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even. But Alize refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation. However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion.
Well, if it's any consolation, she is in awe of your work.
She told you of my graduation thesis. How very embarrassing. Nonetheless, it is comforting and not a little surprising to hear that I'm still capable of impressing my sister. On the rare occasions I'm not annoying her, that is. Alize, are you all right?
The treatment. Did it work?
Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
Gaboo!
All this time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan. But I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart. Constantly, ever, always. So I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
Your hopes reached Gaboo. They helped him to hold on.
I'm so proud of you, Gaboo.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Yes, we can. All of them.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use. As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether. And while Alize was able to heal Gaboo alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence. All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gaboo, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then, the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying. And her name is Master Matoya, the real one.
I have to go now, Gaboo. But the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, we saved Gaboo! Yay! So I do think that was going to do it for this part. The next part we will speak with Ishtola here. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting our channel. All support really helps her keep being content like this and more. You can find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt, signing out. Bye!